Never break, always fight.
Mr. Wolf. Let's see if he swings round. That way. Just swing him round for you. Hello to anybody tuning in. Neil from Flames Pyro Art, just signing in. For a little while I've been off TikTok, I'm afraid, for a good few days. Hi there, Sammy. How are you? It's been saying I've been off TikTok for a few days after my eviction notice. Busy packing a house, and you would not believe the story of what happened to me after I'd found a house to live in. The house I'm going to live in had a flood and lost all the electrics to the house. Yeah, I'm fighting, I'm soldiering on, Sammy. I'm just rolling with the punches at the minute. Literally, I just feel like I'm getting kicked left, right and centre. You know, every move you make, you feel like something's there putting the boot in at the minute, like this new house where it's flooded, and I've got to like now pay 450 quid for a new fuse box because water got into the fuse box. So it's been a crazy time, and I've not had the time to finish off Mr. Wolf that had started. I've not picked up a pyro pen in like days, and usually I burn every single day. It's a Saturday afternoon. I thought would be pyro afternoon and try and get this wolf somewhere near finished. So what's your weekend consisting of, Sammy? I don't know why I put a dark mark in there. Oh, I remember there was a matted piece of fur that came out, and it was all matted from here, and it was like all knotted in the coat. So at the moment I'm doing all the light work on the wolf. If you bear with me 1 second, just want to go and see if I can find my headphones. Let me see if I can find this set so I can just have some music on in the background. Give me 2 minutes and I shall be back. Wait there a minute, you lot. I'm going to get the headphones. Stay there. Stay. Won't be a minute. got some. Nothing for work, but I've got some. Let's see if these headphones work. Even more wireage to come in the way now. I like to have films and stuff playing while I'm wood burning, but obviously you don't want to have to listen to the film that I'm watching, so I've got a set of headphones in, so there's going to be, let's see if I can balance the wire out of the way. And we'll see if we can get this wolf somewhere near finish. I'm trying to like step down through the tiers of his fur. This is going totally out just from my mind now. I'm not looking at the reference photo anymore. I'm just creating this just from my own vision, you know. You get so far with a reference photo and that'll do me, you know, as long as it's helped me to get as far as I needed to get, which it did. I can then ditch the image and just work from my mind and just create my own wolf, you know. You don't have to stick to reference photos. They're just there as a guide, really, just for your outlines, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, you know, just for setting you up, really. The only time you would stick, well, I would personally stick to the letter of the reference photo is when I'm doing commission work. Obviously, if you're doing a commission job, then you have to do everything that is shown in the picture. What I'm trying to do is try and get this mouth area to pop some more. It's not popping. It's not coming forward. I know I need to darken shading further down its neck. So if I swing it upside down, it actually helps me to see like how the fur would be. You can just make this up now at this stage. It's just shadowed fur. That's obviously, you know, it's just the front coat, and this was all quite white, was the wolf's front coat. So I can just make my own finish to the front of him. Let's see what we got on. Let's see if I've seen this one. Now, I bet you any money yeah, I have. I've left my inhaler somewhere now. Oh, dry up, don't broke my liquid. This is what happens when you move in house and your house is a shithole. Stay there, we'll get there. Let's get on the setting. I think we're nearly good to go. Crazy thing was as well, I'd lost both pairs of my glasses, right? So I had no glasses, which really I need for distance. Couldn't find either pair that I had. And lo and behold, one day I find both pairs on the same day, within 20 minutes of each other. Absolutely crazy. That'll be good if there's no one coming in. I can just get on. How are you doing? This wolf is upside down at the minute to anybody coming in, because I'm looking to build the coat under his chin, and sometimes you can see a better perspective if you look at the piece from upside down. You can see yourself, you can make yourself shapes and a little bit of detail. So you're welcome to watch. I've got the chat open. I'll check it every now and again, but I'm just going to try and get in the zone and get somewhere finished with Mr. Wolf, because he needs finishing. Got his ears and everything to do yet. But we need to build out from under the mouth as well. Just what's come on TikTok today, because I haven't been on in like several days, and I know in this world if you don't keep creating content then you lose your audience, don't you? And at one point I'd built up a lovely group of people who used to come in regular and watch me wood burn, and we'd have a good chat and a good laugh. This has been made on a piece of birch ply, this one. I'm switching over to the poplar, the new oakcrafts.co.uk premium ply canvases that they've sourced, that they said are absolutely amazing for getting your detail into. So I'm really looking forward to having a go on the poplar. That's going to be after the move though, because this is just a bit of downtime, because I've been so busy the last 3 days I've barely eaten a thing. I've just been fighting fires, well, fighting floods. Just my luck has just been more than coincidentally bad. See, the eyes have to be darkened off yet, but not with this pen. This pen is more for fur. It's not really for trying to make glassy eyes. I wouldn't use this pen for that. Use the large flat shader for darkening and glassing the eyes up. Should have a note next to the work saying in the zone. So I need to get in the zone to finish this wolf properly. So anybody is welcome to watch, and I will check the chat every now and again, and if there are any wood burners who have questions about anything, I teach pyrography as well, so you can fire away any questions to me if you would like. If there's anything, any burning questions that you have, hit me with them and I will give you the best answer I can from the knowledge that I've learned from the thousands of hours of burning. They said this radio thing I heard the other day, it said to become a true master at anything in life requires 10,000 hours of practice. Now I'll be in a good few thousand. I don't know if I'll be at 10, but 4 years of burning nearly every day. There's several thousand hours there. It's my passion. It's the thing I absolutely love to do. I don't ever charge anybody for teaching. I run a teaching group on Facebook, and I have a YouTube channel that I don't charge anybody. You know, these subscription fees, subscribe to the channel and be a paid member or any of that business. It's all free. Knowledge sharing is a blessing to me, and I would never profiteer from just sharing the knowledge that I've gained. That's the way I live my life. That's the way we should all live our lives. Help each other. There's no weakness in being kind. In my mind, there is only strength in being a kind person. And I know I can go to sleep every night knowing I did my very best to be kind to people, and it's a wonderful feeling. I'm going to put a big moon behind the wolf in that foiling stuff that you use, flaking, and you brush it into the glue. There's a term for the practice of using the like gold or silver flakes, but that's what's going behind the wolf. I think I'm getting rid of YouTube, and I think I'm gonna go back to Better Call Saul, because it's one of them that you can listen to and still understand what's going on with Better Call Saul. The spin-off from Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was the best box set I've ever seen in my life. I don't know about you, but Breaking Bad was right up there. Ozark, another great box set to watch. If you haven't watched Ozark, you're missing out on something. It's amazing, is Ozark. From the very first episode, you're gripped. What I'm looking to do, it's like a bit of a scarf sort of technique, as he had like ruffles of fur that go down in the steps, so I'm just trying to step them down and get down to his more near it where his top of his legs would be, here around this area. When you're dealing with white fur, you want to put your shading down very lightly and build it, layer your shading up. A lot of people don't understand about layering with pyrography. Many layers have gone down into the wolf's head, and more layers will go down round his mouth yet to try and bring it out forward. Getting pinged with messages left, right and centre at the minute on me. Messenger and me here. They're going to have to wait. This is my time. I'm having an hour of pyrography. Hi David, hi buddy, how are you? I've had a crazy time, bud. Crazy, just insane time of it. Last few days, that's why I've not been seen. The new house I'm moving into, my dad's, me and my brother went there 2 days ago to drop some stuff off. Opened the front door and basically the place was flooded. There'd been a leak in the upstairs master bathroom with my dad's. So I've been dealing with all the shit from that, and just had an electrician out this morning and he said it's going to have to be a new fuse box and it's going to be 450 quid. Ouch. And it looks like I've got to pay it out. It's been fun times, David, fun times. Just got to laugh it off, ain't you, as best you can. And yeah, not good. I mean, you don't need them all. Yeah, it will do. It's got to settle down for me. Saying to my brother and that, surely God's gonna shine on me soon, and give me a break, because I've just been getting kicked all over the place for the last few months. And I've remained kind throughout most of it. I've had the odd little words exchanged with my dad, but that's the way you have to deal with my dad, unfortunately. He's not a nice man. And basically you can't get hold of any money to send to me, so I've got to pay for the electrician. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm keeping my head up. I had a few days in the wilderness when everything was falling to shit around me. But I'd just been tripping back and two with, stuff out of the house, just so I could make it easier for when I take down my big shed in the back, 'cause I'm not leaving that for the landlord, not a chance. It's my big woodworking shop, and you know about woodworking. I want to keep my scroll saws and everything. There's no chance I'm losing that workshop. That's coming with me. I've got to break it down and rebuild it in my dad's back garden. I want to ideally get it done before the autumn. I need to get a shift on. Tomorrow I'm going to move all the scroll saws and bench saws and all the heavy woodworking equipment in the van. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of exercise, but I'm taking every bit of machinery that I've built up over the time. You know what it's like. You build up bits and pieces, don't you? One couple of months you might be able to scrounge up enough to get a scroll saw. Then another couple of months you can get a bench saw, and so on and so forth. And I built myself a nice little workshop. It's just I didn't get enough time really to work in it as much as I would like. So what you up to for the weekend? Have you finished your shifts now? Is that it? Are you done till next week, or you do crazy patterns of shift work? Oh, cool. Where are you going? Tell me somewhere really nice. Tell me you're going somewhere overseas and sunny and where you forget about all your troubles and you pack them in your old kit bag. Remember that song? That's what you do when you go on holiday abroad, isn't it? Let's see where he's going. Tell me where you're going, David. Berwick. Where's Berwick? Is it Wales? Or is it rubbish at geography? So you'd have to tell me where Berwick is, but I'm afraid. It's in Northumberland. I hope you have a great time. Is it like a static that you've got? At one point, he was going to be moving into a caravan, and you wouldn't believe who owned the caravan site that I was going to move into. I'll give you one guess who owned this caravan site in near Warrington. It's half off-grid living. It's pretty much nearly a gypsy site, but it was 140 quid a week, but they would have let me put my metal shed up, so they were accommodating. Tyson Fury. The Fury family own it, and if ever there's any trouble on the park, then the Fury family come down, and if the Fury family come down, then they're kicking the front door in and you're leaving the site. Are you going to argue with Tyson Fury and his brothers? So it sounded like it would have been a great secure site, you know. It's a backup plan still. It was my kind of people, working class, you know, wanting off the grid kind of people. The only thing was, because like I said, I lost my business when I was caring for my now estranged wife. I wouldn't get housing benefit for a caravan because it's not bricks and mortar. Otherwise, I think I would have gone down the caravan route, because it would have been a start to my off the grid life. And so what's the missus got you doing today when you get yourself sorted? Shopping? Okay, we're doing my cars. It snapped and I thought, oh, bloody hell, I won't fancy that job either, yeah. So We've both got shit jobs on. Good to see someone that can actually DIY. I would have. Well, I am going to DIY all the other repairs to the flood at my dad's. I'm not going through the insurance company, that bollocks to them. The excess was like 900 quid. So you had to pay them 900 quid for like 450 quid's worth of work. And you know, they said, oh, well, this needs to come down, that needs to be redone, this needs doing, and make up loads of work. Next thing you know, they're ripping the house to pieces. No, that's not happening. He said to me, the guy said, are you going to dry the place then? I said, it's summer, bud. So I'm hoping for some hot weather. I've left the windows open upstairs there, so get some air through the place. Ripped all the carpets out that were sodden and waiting for it to dry. So I'm going to carry on moving and just pray on Tuesday this electrician comes through, fits a new fuse box for me and gets me back with electricity there, and then I can start moving in properly to there and leave this place and just come here to collect my stuff, you know, and start setting up my like art studio, because I do a lot of teaching. And set up my woodwork shop. And just basically try and just have a nice, quiet life, David. That's the utopia for me at the minute, is a nice, quiet life. For a good couple of months, I don't like people much. I mean, I'm very kind to everybody, and I mean, I don't mean that in a horrible way, but a lot of the human race disgusts me, you know, with the greed and the selfishness. I just can't be doing with them. I want to get away from the system. And eventually I am going off the grid, and that is going to be solar panels, batteries to store the electricity, get a converter to put it to 12 volt, and away you go. I've already got 2 big leisure batteries from when I was window cleaning. So I've got 2 already that I could create energy from. I just need to find somewhere to go. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere where there's a water source. That's all you need, isn't it? I'd love to go to America, ideally. That'd be the dream. Go to America. Get up as close to Alaska as I could. And live up there and just wood burn. Obviously you wouldn't just wood burn, you'd have got a lot of other chores to do, wouldn't you, like collecting firewood and hunting and stuff. But just live free. Well away from governments and all their bullshit. Thieves and liars. I'd love Alaska. My dream spot is 200 miles from the Arctic Circle. So it'd be cold. Do you watch there's a series on Discovery Plus called Alaskan Bush People, and it's an amazing series. It's about his family who are Alaskan bush people. The kids grew up in the wild in Alaska, and the cameras have followed the life for years, and wow, they are amazingly skilled at everything you could think of, everything possible. I'm still watching it. I'm on season 5 of 6, and good luck to them. They're a lovely family. They were all like, religious and believe in God and believe God will look after them. And they're just an amazing bunch of people, and they deserve everything they get. Every good thing that comes to them, they deserve. So if you haven't got Discovery Plus, get it. The Last Frontier. I've got that one ready to watch after this, after Alaskan Bush People. There's about 10 seasons of that one, isn't there? So that'll keep me going for quite a few weeks. I love watching all the ingenuity. How they can just make something from like nothing, can't they? From bits from a dump, and then all of a sudden they can make amazing things out of them. They're just the geniuses. If bears or cougars or anything come near the camp, they don't shit themselves and hide away. They go out with the guns and try and scare them off. They don't kill the bears if they can help it. They don't want to kill the bears. They said they like the bears, but they just try and scare them away. Imagine that. Yeah, they just see things, can't they? And I can use the alternator out of this and that bit there, and make a freezer storage thing for the meat, and they're just so clever. I did put a request in and I got accepted, but I needed to get a visa to go and live at Turtle Island, which was off Mountain Men, to go and live and work at Turtle Island. But I looked into getting visas, and you have to try and get a work visa, and you have to have a job sort of sponsor. You can't just go into America and just stay there. And I have this argument, David, right? People say, this is our land. I own this land. You don't own shit. You're a custodian of the land until you die. You may think you own it, but you don't. You just, like the native Indians, were the perfect custodians of the land. They never took more than what they needed, because they knew if they did, the following year they wouldn't have anything. Hello there, Severed Art. How are you? We're just talking about living off the grid and how we'd love to live in Alaska in the wild, generating our own electricity and living free. Because I said to my brother, I've got this question and I'll ask you both this, Severed Art and David. What would you say at the moment if you're on your deathbed tomorrow and a man asked you, what did you do with your life? What would your answer be? I know what the most people's answer would be. I went to work and tried to meet my financial commitments. Yeah, but what else did you do? Well, nothing. I couldn't afford to do anything else. You just had to go to work to meet your financial commitments, keep a roof over our head and keep food in the stomachs. That's not living, is it? That's been a slave to the government. I don't know, I just got to thinking about that question. Live mine to the full as I learned that life is short back in 2013. I am afraid the ghost of my regrets of not living my life would stand over me. We all have regrets and that, Severed Art, yeah. But plenty of things you can look back on in life and say, if I'd done that different, if I'd done that different. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? But like Davey said, what I try and do is I just live in each day. To me, really, there is no Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's just today. Sometimes gets a bit tricky when you've got appointments and stuff, because I do forget them. Because, like I said, I just live in the day. And many years ago, I chose to go my own way, and I quit my job as an accountant when I was 33 and went window cleaning with my brother instead, because I was sick and tired of sitting there making other people rich for your hard work and you got no gratification, no nothing for it. So I handed my notice in, walked away, and I've never worked for anybody again in my life since at the age of 33. And I never will work for a company ever again in my life. Plus my back's fucked now from all the window cleaning. 20 years of graft, I'll do that to your body. COVID lockdown came at a perfect time for me in my life. It just slowed me down because I think I was heading for a heart attack in my 50s. You know, I couldn't have kept up the pace I was working at, trying to survive, trying to meet my financial commitments. But at least I lived free and I was my own boss. Not everybody can live that way, and I wouldn't suggest anyone go and jack your job in tomorrow. But it is a great feeling when you're not working for anybody else but yourself. Hello, GG Ghost. Your phone's been broken. I have not worked for 3 months and I don't want to go back after I recover. I want to work for me. Exactly. That's exactly it. Work for yourself, you know. There's a saying I have at the end of my YouTube videos sometimes. The secret to a happy life is always follow your passion. And it's never a truer saying you will ever hear again. The secret to a happy life, always follow your passion. Thank you. Thank you. It's getting there, slowly building the depth. I'd been working on it and it was going well, and then I got derailed after the eviction notice dropped on me was it a week ago now. They gave me like 6 weeks to pack a full house up and get out. And because I'm a single man, I would be at the bottom of the list for the council, and I would end up in like a halfway house for the homeless with all the heroin addicts and stuff, and I don't fancy that. I said I would rather sleep in a tent in a field somewhere than live in James Lee House. And it's pretty scary when you think, shit, I'm going to be homeless in 6 weeks. It makes you jump into action. Okay, Al. I've got 3 dogs and one of them's a little old man. He's not doing too well, this little Alfie. He's coming towards the end of his life, the little fella, but I can't let him go. I know if I took him to the vets, I know exactly what they'd say, but he's not in pain. The day he was in pain, I would take him. But I can't let him go until I look in his eyes and I see him say to me, I've had enough. Then I'll take him. It'll break my heart, but once our children grow up, our dogs become our children. I've got 3 of them at the minute, which, well, they're all going back to my ex-wife at some point, hopefully late next week, because I say that not in a cruel way, but I've got a lot to do, and they're not getting the attention that I would like to give them. You know, dogs like attention, they like being stroked, they like, you know, you're showing them affection and stuff, and I just haven't had time, and I don't think it's fair on the dogs to be with me through this part of my life. Thank you, Ghost. As one of my friends said to me, you know, it's character building, isn't it, and stuff. It's how you adapt to adversity. And I've got options. The caravan park is still there as an option, but I think the house thing, that flooded, is going to be my best option. And yeah, that's what I'm going to try and do. Just adapt and overcome, and still be my own boss and make my own choices. My dad's got household buildings and contents insurance, and so I would have thought with a flood, you'd have rang the insurance company up, they would have got people straight out and on the job, because that's what you pay your insurance for. But no, you have to wait several days before an assessor will come round and assess the damage, and then there's extortionate excesses they put on flood damage. So you pay the first £900 of the cost of repair. And I've got a new fuse box coming in on Tuesday for 450 quid. So that's half of the 900 quid that they're saying that I'd have to pay. It's like, what's the point in having insurance if they're not going to do anything? It's crazy, isn't it? They were meant to be ringing me today to get someone to come round to the house and assess it. We're at, what time are we at now? 2 o'clock. Have I had a phone call? Have I fuck? So I rang an electrician last night, and he said he'd come and have a look this morning, and he did. And he said the earliest I can fit it for you is Tuesday, and so I'll take the man who's given me a day. You know, he said I'll be here Tuesday, so I shook his hand for Tuesday. And hopefully he'll get the electricity back on, and then I can go full steam ahead again. But I need the dogs to go back to the mum, so they're looked after and they're loved and they're given attention. Because I've got a lot of stuff to do. Imagine moving a full house in 6 weeks. Like 20-something years worth of collecting stuff, and I'm a hoarder as well. I'm one of them people who don't really want to throw that away. It could come in handy. You know, I'm one of them kind of people. I hate throwing things away because you never know when they could come in handy. Thank you, Severdart. But yeah, don't worry about it. Just all I ask for is if you can just put positivity out there for me that I'll overcome. And I'd be very grateful to everybody who could just say a little prayer and let the sun shine on me. But it's great when you're not employed by somebody anymore. You can do what you want when you want, you know. But you have to be of a certain kind of person to be able to be self-employed or, you know, self-funded. You have to be a certain kind of person to do it. You have to have a very creative mind and think of things that you can do that can just put food on the table. And I just wait until see, I've got quite a bit of inheritance coming my way, but it could be another 10 years, 20 years. By then I'll be in my like 60s. That's too old then to start my off-grid life. So I need to do it myself, don't I? I need to get the money together myself and do whatever I have to do to make the dream happen. But always keep kindness as your first and foremost way of living. I always like to try and do a good deed for a stranger a day, if I can. If I'm out and about, if I can try and do one good deed for a stranger, then hopefully that'll ripple out to that stranger doing a good deed for somebody, or make them say, oh wow, you know, there's actually decent people out there in the world, and not all everyone for themselves. Sorry guys, I waffle. Hello Game Life 2022. Even just a smile at strangers helps the world. Absolutely, absolutely it does. Yeah, just a smile or a good morning, yeah, that can change the world, because this world needs changing, because it's not working. I know what we're all doing. We're all just slaves to a much greater power that are living lives that we cannot even imagine, off the back of what everybody puts into the pot. I would love to go through the books of even my own local council. I would love to audit them. That's how far it filters down. Even your own local council is taking their slice of the pie. No worries, Sebadart, yeah. I'll be here, buddy, for a bit. I just wanted to come on to TikTok land because it's my favourite platform in the world. It's a pain in the arse is YouTube land. I love TikTok land. It's so much easier and freer. YouTube, you have to put a lot of effort into YouTube. I think I have some like 170 videos on YouTube, and I have 340 odd subscribers. You have to be putting content out a lot to get subscribers on YouTube. That can be a full-time job in itself, YouTube. You're back for a bit. What kind of art do you do, Severdart? Are you a pyrographer or a painter, or... I might have asked you before, and if I have, I do apologise. Sometimes I have a shit memory. Depends what kind of smoke I'm blowing out on the day. This isn't anything of anything, this is just my vape. Keep it off camera, because if you have it on camera, it's a violation. Touch wood, up to now, somehow I've not had any violations. If you get 24 violations, you're off TikTok. Maybe that's why some of these people, you see them setting up multiple accounts, don't you? Just in different names with exactly the same image as their like profile image. Keep my eye on the phone because I remember it overheats and starts freaking out. Once it's got enough power in it, I'll take it off charge. Otherwise we'll start getting that crazy screen again. So as you can see from what I'm doing here, it takes a while to build up mass of a coat. You know, you can't just put a single layer down. Just keep shading and then see what evolves in your mind. It's a bad thing with the students I have in my study group. I get the image, I buy them off Shutterstock, so they're amazing quality images, but then I ditch the image after a little while and go my own way. And so it doesn't help them. You finally, pyrography painter, spray painter, artist, lol. I finally went and bought a new wood burner that I could burn on low temps. Did you get the Optima? I think I asked you this before, and I'm sure you had a Colwood. Let's see if I'm right. See if my memory's right. Yeah. Cool, I remember now. You enjoying the new wood burner? Burning at low heats is a necessity with pyrography if you want to create realism art. Especially when you're doing people portraits. I've done a few people portraits on TikTok Live. Did one for mental health awareness after that drummer from the Foo Fighters died of an overdose. Because even the rich have mental health problems. I suppose it's even worse in a way because they've got the funds to get their hands on anything, haven't they? Most of these celebrities are junkies. There are even people, and I don't know how they do it, there's working people who take heroin at weekends and stuff and still function as normal working people. You know, like people who go to the pub instead. It's like, how do you do that? You know, that's the one thing you do not touch. There's certain substances that you avoid like the plague. The Americans know more than we do in they have the crystal meth problem over there. Because Walt of Breaking Bad made it. Escapism. You stay away from people portraits in any medium. Well, you don't like doing people. I love doing people. I love to start with that nose and push everything else back and create the depth down the sides of the head and everything. I just love it. But for some reason, we're on a wildlife expedition at the minute because the next one I'm doing as part of the the study group of students I've got is we're going to do an American eagle. I haven't found the image yet, but I'm going to do a big full size. This is a 12-inch by 8-inch board, and I'm going to fill it with an American eagle in as much detail and realism as possible. I did a hawk a while ago and I absolutely loved doing that, so I'm going to do a massive eagle. It's very hard to sell your art. You know, you've got to build a name, haven't you? It's so hard to build a name. I mean, since day one, I've worked under Flame's Pyro Art as my pen name. And I like, we Severed Art, you've got Severed Art as your, you know, your pen name for your art. And when you get to the level of like being an artist, you need a pen name. And you have to try and build that pen name, don't you, into a recognised name for quality. I had some guy come at me on earlier in the week, and he asked me, he said, I want a 12-inch sign making out of live edge wood with a camper van on it and the words "gone fishing" on it. And he said, how much would it be? And so I looked for live edge wood, and in the UK it's expensive. I found a pack of 3 for 60 quid or just under. So I said it'll be 20 quid for your board. Then I'm going to want 65 quid for the artwork, that's doing it cheap for you. So you're looking at all in like 90 odd quid. And I said, right, that's a bit more than what we were thinking about. So go and get a plastic sign. I said, you know, if you're coming to me to ask me for it, you're getting a piece of art, so you're not getting a sign. People think that you're willing to do things for like, oh, I'll just call it a tenner. Call it a tenner, that'll do. You know, I'll work for 3 or 4 days for a tenner. Yeah. Would they do that? Yeah, you're right. It does take so much time, Severed Art. You are right. And it do the people who ask you, like, you know, could you do me a piece of art of this, that, and you give them a price, they're like, and they're shocked. It's like, do you realise how much time and effort and how much of our own soul and personality and spirit will go into that piece of art before we're happy to sign it off and give it to you? People undervalue artists big time. Into my guns, Severed Art, I'm sticking to my prices of what they are, and if they don't like it, go to someone cheap and get a crapper job done. You know, I'm not bothered. I'm sure there'll be somebody out there that'll do it for like 20, 30 quid or something, but you'll get a crap job. I've seen some dog portrait artists, and it's like, oh my god. I, I know this sounds awful, but I couldn't dream of giving that to a customer who paid me money to do it for them. You know, it doesn't even look like it has any depth or anything to it. You know? But they seem to get regular work because they'll work for absolute buttons. And then it knackers the whole system up for all the real artists, because the crappy artists are coming in at stupid prices, and then when the proper artist comes along and tells them the real price, they're like, bang on, we've been paying like 20-30 quid for stuff in the past. Yeah, well, you've stumbled across a proper artist, and you will see a difference in what you get for your money. And then I was wondering, Severed Art, if, you know, let's say if everybody had to contribute to society, do we as artists contribute to society? Would art be classed as contributing? Yeah, that's right. Our time and money and love is worth money, definitely. You know, and the better you get at something, you know, because you've spent all them thousands of hours practicing, you're not going to do it for 20 quid, are you? Hopefully, I'd like to think that. Yeah, I'd like to think we shape the world with our art, that people enjoy looking at our art and watching us make it come to life and stuff. That's all I come on TikTok for. I just, if people want to watch a piece of art come to life, you know, they can come and tune in for however long I'm on for. Sometimes I can be on for a good few hours, depending on what mood I'm in and who's in the chat with me. If I've got nice people in the chat with me, I stay on longer. Art is a luxury, I understand that, but we can bring ideas, dreams, and memories into this world, yeah? Yeah, I like that saying. Memories, yeah. But when you get your new wood burner, you're going to have to tune in one time when I do a human portrait, and I'll show you, and then you'll fall in love with them once you've done a couple. I was scared to death of human portraits. You know, when you tackle the first few, you're like, oh my god, I've just got these few outlines, these eyes, nose, and like this outline of this hair. It's like, what the fuck? And we always start on the eyes, don't we? And branch out from spots we can find. I just love going way over the top and putting too much detail down into a piece. No, of course I don't. Send it over. Be happy to have a look for you, buddy, after the end of the session. And I promise you I'm never ever rude or anything. If you ask me if you like any critique or anything of just one artist to another, I would never be unkind. I would still point out places that maybe that you can see things on this that I could do differently, you know, from a different set of eyes. It's like this white bit of chest here. It's like trying to fluff it out. What do you listen to, Severed Art, when you're creating? Are you a music? You think I've asked you before. You're a music lover, aren't you? When you create your art, you're a metalhead. Probably be some bands that I've never heard of because I'm not like very clued up with music. I've heard of Iron Maiden, and I can maybe name a few. Not many heavy metal bands. I just always put a box set on me. I'm just either, well, I'm into the paranormal usually. I'm watching paranormal investigators on YouTube. Don't know why I've all of a sudden gone off to this part of the head when I was down there. It was all white hair down here. So again, I've got to, you need to try and like get a really fine edge to the break from the colour to the white. And likewise on the back end of it as well. From behind it, you've got to I need a micro skew out for that if I'm going to do it. with a real intricacy. Thank you, that's really kind of you. I don't see it myself, because we don't, do we? I always think all my art's shit. I think we all are our own worst critic. We all doubt ourselves, don't we? And all think, I could have done better, that's crap, that bit's crap. You know, I don't think we'll ever find that one piece where we say to, yeah, I nailed it. I don't think we'll ever find that piece, because I don't think, you know, the arrogance, I suppose, and the Donald Trump mentality you would have to say, look at this, the best piece of art in the world you've ever seen. That's what Donald Trump would say. You know, an egotist. But humble people, we don't say that. We think our art's crap. Yeah, I'll come and check out your page as well, Severed Art. I'll come and have a nosy after this session, because I'm going to do another 10 minutes or so. And then these dogs are wanting the biscuits. Actually, they want the biscuits now. It's 2:30. Want your biscuits? Right, guys, I'm sorry to have to run away when we're having a great chat. So I'm going to end this session. Say thank you to David, Severed Art, everybody who came in and had a chat with me. Hello, King Kermit. Sorry, I'm off, buddy, to feed the dogs and do a few other jobs, because the move is still looming, so I've still got to keep pushing at that as well. But it was great to come and spend a bit of time with you all, and thank you so much, Severed Art and David and everybody, for just speaking to me. And I really enjoyed the session. I love it if there's even just one person in with me who, you know, I know I talk a lot, I know I do, chatterbox, but I still love when I read your comments and everything, as I know I've flown past because of the time lags, but I appreciate when people come in and spend some time with me. So thank you all so much. And I will go and feed the dogs, and then I'm heading over to Severed Art. See you soon, King Kermit. See you later, buddy. Take care, everyone. You're going to hear a clunk while I take it out of its clamp. No, it didn't clump. Right. Okay. So where we're at. Let's get it from further back. Turn the burner off first so I don't burn through a wire. He's fluffing up, he's a fat wolf.
In circulation, one step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration, and if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.